Hello, hello.
Front Porch Show.
We're set to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're set to go on with the Front Porch Show. It's Dynamo.
Front Porch Show.
Magnifico. Dynamo Magnifico on with the Front Porch Show. We'll have a laugh or two. Big smiles from me and you. Hello, hello.
Front Porch Show.
We're good to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're good to go on with the Front Porch Show. Here's Don.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, live from St. Mary's by the Seat of Our Pants Productions is again proud to present the Front Porch Show. Starring John Stevens and this week's sponsor, St. Mary's Buick GMC. I am Don Van Galen, along with the piano man, Frank St. Germain. Joining John and his guests, St. Mary's Mayor Al Strathdee.
All right.
From Pass It On, Carey Pope.
Right, Carey.
Amy Cubberly from the St. Mary's Museum. Community calendar with Lauren Eady.
Yes, Lauren.
Our musical guests, Chris Mabel. And this week's guest host, Mr. Terry Crisp. All today on the Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello.
Front Porch Show.
We're good to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're good to go on with the Front Porch Show. Now we'll have a laugh or two. Big smiles from me and you real loud. Hello, hello. It's set to go.
Front Porch Show.
Hello, hello. We're set to go on with the Front Porch Show.
And here he is. Here's John Stevens and Terry Crisp. Come on. Here's John. Here, throw it first. Okay, Terry, come on over here.
Look at this.
Okay. We're not going to put you in the penalty box today.
Why not? I deserve it.
Okay.
But I want to ask one question before
Yeah.
you start, please. I had my aunt's here somewhere, and she was yapping at me and giving me the devil, Aunt Roberta, because she said last time she was in the back row, she couldn't hear the melodious tones of John Stevenson. Can you hear us in the back row? Can you hear us? Say yes, please.
No, say yes, please.
Thank you. Aunt Roberta, you're covered.
Aunt Roberta's been one of our faithful attendees. If she's not here, I'm going to phone 911, say what's going on.
She's the one with the beer.
Okay. Oh. Okay, well, Terry, have you noticed a few things about the Front Porch Show since you've been here the last time?
Are you kidding me? The last time I was here was with you. We were on your front porch.
Yeah.
A beautiful home in the background. And you took the beautiful home and took it away and gave me this beautiful setting right here.
Yeah.
You are a good man.
Well,
I got to tell you, how much on this do you owe? Because you still owe lots. I know you owned your house. How much on this do you still owe?
I give everybody here six-figure salaries. Six-figure salaries.
They're all zeros.
But still. Anyways, we got to thank Percy for building this set, and Denise supplied the flat. So we've got a pretty good crew, really good gang supporting the Front Porch Show. And we have, unfortunately, Ollie. We lost Ollie a couple of years ago, and Kaylee now is retired. But we still have Belle in her Western costume. She looks pretty excited about the show. And we always will have a pet on the show because we always want to be pet friendly. And as you can see, we have a great crew always supporting the show. Our internet crowd, just to shout out a few people, is one of the things that's growing and growing and growing. We have Rich, he's still watching from California. We have David and Ann from Minnesota, Tony from the Niagara region, and we have Kubra, who watches the show faithfully from Istanbul, Turkey. She watches it with her dog, Yakut. Okay, because Yakut wants to be friends with Bell. So there we go. And somebody have told me that even some people binge watch. Your job is to build our Nashville audience.
To binge watch?
Binge watch the Front Porch Show, yeah.
That's a new binge for me. I've been on binges before, but it sure wasn't watching, I'll tell you.
It'll help on this part.
Okay, but our goal is to send one person home happy, and it seems we seem to be able to do it. Terry, anything happened in your life since we saw you last?
You know what? Not a whole lot that I could say was melodramatic or anything, except the fact that my wife and I and all of our family are now in St. Mary's tonight. We have 18 total in our family, grandchildren, children, et cetera. We have 17 of them here in St. Mary's tonight. So you know what? That's my highlight.
Okay, fantastic. Good stuff. Now, Don, you have somebody you want to introduce to us?
Sure, John. I'll introduce somebody.
Okay.
Thank you. Go have a seat, though, John. Go have a seat. Go have a seat.
Oh, okay,
I got a thing or two to say. He doesn't come to rehearsals, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to work on this. He's a little out of order here. But, John, you remember last week I said it was St. Mary's Hat Day? A few people out there remembered, right? But where's yours?
One.
Where's yours?
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. But I do want to say, we have a really special guest here. I can remember watching this guy playing and bringing home the cup. That was special stuff, Mr. Chris. So I think we should honor our special guest host, don't you think, Frank?
And who would he be? Has he been introduced yet?
Mr. Terry Crisp has been introduced. Everyone knows Terry Crisp.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Crisp.
Like the man who needs no introduction, right?
Hey,
But we should be doing something.
We got to do it in a special way, Don. So this is the first.
What do you got in mind?
Well, I see a couple of guitar cases back here. I know Chris Mabel is going to be back here a little bit later, but I see another guitar case. Would
a little more beat up.
Would that be a Don Van Galen guitar case?
Yeah.
Okay. How about? Would you like to not introduce, but would you like to hear Don Van Galen and myself do a song for Terry Crisp? From a Canadian icon called Stompin' Tom Connors, okay? We've never did this. We didn't rehearse, but I told that it had two chords in it. So
No
basically,
rehearsal. Genuine plywood, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you're going to stomp on it, too.
We got to stomp.
All right. Stompin' Don Van Galen.
Stompin' Don Van Galen.
How about stopping Don Van Galen? Stop him.
That might happen after a couple of seconds here. Yeah, stomping. Okay, look
By
at
the
this.
time we're done, you're going to wish you were at a Who concert because they smashed their guitars then. That's the idea.
So this is Don and I's, way of saying.
They're going to just say, who?
There you go. But, John, you should come and join us.
No.
Oh, okay.
The crowd will.
Just singing, John.
No.
That's okay, because we're going to do just a little bit of this song. It's in C, okay? C, can you play a C? Yeah, that's close enough. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Everybody, the good old hockey game is the best game. Do some stomping. The best game you can name is a good old hockey game. The good old hockey game is the best game you can. Come on. Best game you can name is a good old hockey game. Welcome back to St. Mary's, Terry Crisp.
Okay, Don. Now you have somebody to introduce to us.
Absolutely have a very special...
We need a microphone somehow, Don.
Yes. And our special guest,
Yes.
a dancing sensation, all the way from St. Mary's, Mr. Mayor Graham. Would you please come up? Okay. Now, Mateo has a couple of things to show us.
But go down there.
But you have to do it down there where it's where people can see you a little bit better. And John is going to join you.
Not yet. Not yet. We want to do.
We want to see a little bit of your stuff
We did that at 4 o'clock. Went through what we were doing.
You just keep interrupting, John. Go ahead, dear Miss. Come on, Mateo. Yes.
Whoa! Ay, ay, ay. That's got to be hard on cement.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay, John, it's your turn.
All right. Mateo, that's hard on cement, Mateo.
Someone should have brought some cardboard
That
for
is
that
hard.
Okay, come on. I'm not doing this.
That's
alone.
cement. That ain't grass. Mateo is stronger than me. Okay, Mateo. That was good, man. That hurt.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I like.
Come on. Show us some moves.
Okay, Mateo, give it to me. Where's the music here? Play the music loud.
Right up. Yeah. There we go.
Ready for this?
Are you ready?
There we go.
Oh, here we come.
Okay.
Maestro.
Music, please. Mr. Music, please.
Come on, Mateo. Bring it on. Mateo, yeah. Yeah. Come on, Mateo. Whoa, rotate. Rotate. You
Oh. Okay. Enough.
Mateo.
Mateo.
Give me this one, buddy. I saw the kids doing it. What's this one here? Come on, give me. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'm looking for. Come on, Mateo, baby. Play the Game of Thrones. Yeah. Thank you. Can I say one thing before we let Mateo
Say
go?
one thing, you say two things.
I want three things.
Okay.
I had the pleasure of talking to Mateo a little earlier this evening. I said, Mateo, I hear you're a dancer. He said, yeah, I dance a little bit. I said, what would you like to do in life? You know what his goal was? To be the producer of the Front Porch Show. Now, how's that for hey, come on. I want to hear it from everybody up there, from Mateo.
Got an opening.
Big buddy.
Okay. Fantastic.
You're out of a job.
Mateo, how much money do you want? You're going to get, I'll give you double the salary of Don, okay? Okay. I was talking to Amy Cubberly this week on chatting, and I said, you know, there's a guy in this show, if you want to go back and look at our first show, you will see we've actually improved. And it was pretty raw, the first show, and we've got now a set and a lot of things, but the show gained a bit of legitimacy when this guy came on the show, and that's our Mayor Al Strathdee. He's a good sport, great guy, so he's making our appearance for the third year running. Let's welcome our Mayor, Al Strathdee. There you go. Like some water? Okay, we're glad to have you back on the show. You were on the second show of the Front Porch Show.
Yes, I was. But
You
it's
ready?
going to be hard to follow the dancing thing, actually.
You should have joined us.
You're going to get a chance.
Oh, well, no, not there.
I hear you're dancing a lot, though, in council chambers sometimes.
Some days.
Did you ever think you'd be on the third season of the Front Porch Show?
You know what? It just never ceases to amaze me, actually, John, the things that can happen in life.
You're so diplomatic. Thank you. Anyways, how's it been working with the new council?
It's been good, actually. We have a really diverse group, and everyone seems to be on board with trying to move the town forward, and it's been very positive.
Yeah. What kind of a year has it been?
I think it's been a very good year for St. Mary's. There's lots of things going on. People keep choosing St. Mary's to live. Is that better? Sorry.
Yeah. I warned you. Thank you, people. Thank you. I'm telling you.
Sorry, Aunt Roberta.
Put the beer down.
All right.
I want Aunt Roberta to be the producer of the show. She's doing a great job.
Anyway, it's been a very positive year for the town. People are continuing to move to St. Mary's. We have growth, and there's a lot of positive things happening. Projects. Murdoch's in town again, for example, filming, and there's been some positive tourist things happening. A lot of growth. Things are good.
We're actually becoming one of the film capitals of Ontario with the films that are happening just outside of town. We have the Cools making films in town. It's incredible.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, I think people are in the film community are starting to discover some of the great residences and some of the buildings that we preserved and have. It's, St. Mary's is a very unique place.
Yeah, and we also have some beautiful people who appear in those films, I've heard.
I haven't heard that, but maybe.
Okay. Okay, well, you will. Municipalities right now are in the process of trying to do more with less. What kind of things are you doing to help with that?
Well, this year we've been rationalizing a lot of services. We continue to do partnerships with other municipalities. For example, the Stratford Police, other things we're doing to try and work with our neighbors to be more efficient. It's no secret there's a lot of trouble in the province with finances. We have a huge debt, and our funding continues to decrease, so we have to just be more efficient and work a little harder and be creative. And St. Mary's has always been that way. We've always found solutions. We're a separated municipality, and obviously with the services we have and a lot of the things that have happened economically in town, we're to get things done in community. And there's a lot of good people here, and I have a very, very positive view for the future.
So what are some of the priorities for the town right now?
Infrastructure is always a priority. Growth at a reasonable, pace. Economic development, as I say, increasing tourism and just making St. Mary's a great place to live. We're doing some work at our fire hall, modernizing a lot of our services. It's a big list, but as I say, we're very positive. Council seems determined to work on the strategic plan that we have, and I think that things are moving forward.
Yeah. Now you and Terry have known each other for a long time.
Yeah, too long, some would say, actually. But
Too long. Hold it. 15 years ago, I asked you to pave Emily Street when I moved there. I want to thank you for doing it 2 years ago. No, maybe a year and a half ago. No, I really, really appreciate it, son, for what you're doing for me. But I got one more thing to ask you. You are...
You haven't got your tax bill yet, Terry. Yeah.
For 4 years, I haven't. You've been chasing me down to Nashville. You come to Nashville 8 times to get it, for crying out loud. And I made John, you asked me, we're going to do... Your Honor, His Worship, the Mayor. So I went around town, and I said, I'm going to have the pleasure on the Front Porch Show to interview our Mayor. So I asked about 8 people, different questions about what I should ask them. Scratch, maybe.
You wouldn't say that in front of Aunt Roberta, some of those things that are written down there, would you?
Not a chance. No, there's only one that I'm gonna mention. You're gonna laugh because these people were very, very sincere and very honest and very worried about this. And they just said that there's yellow porta-john somewhere that's not being used, and they'd like to see it used more. So you can figure out where it is and who asked to do it. You know what I mean? I accomplished my mission out there. The people who asked me, I ask it.
Okay.
We'll
What do you mean economic improvement? I don't understand that. Economic improvement.
Economic development, yes.
Was that my paving of Emily?
That was paving Emily.
Yes, I knew it. Thank you.
So after that, what's your favorite part of the job?
It's meeting new people, and there's always challenges, actually. I think I'm very lucky because I get to meet lots of interesting people, and it's always it's like a big jigsaw puzzle, trying to figure out what to do when and to move things forward, actually. So, I find it very interesting.
Yeah, and your media appearances, of course, are...
Well, the Front Porch Show, that's a bonus, actually, obviously.
Yes, of course. Okay, well, Al, we'd like to thank you for coming to the Front Porch Show. Always a good sport. And in fact, you were on our second show, as I said, and thank you for coming in once again for the 3rd season. Hopefully, you'll be coming in on the 15th season as well.
I certainly hope so, John.
Okay.
Good luck tonight, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we now throw it over to our charming Don Van Galen for this important message.
Yes, John. Of course, the fans of the Front Porch Show obviously are fans of great art. Wouldn't you think so, John? So you're all going to want to see the fabulous fakes at the St. Mary's Station Gallery. They are currently presenting props from the Stratford Festival. This show is running until July 20th. The gallery is open from 11 a.m. till 4:30 from Tuesday till Sunday at 5 James Street North, St. Mary's, Ontario, in the beautiful St. Mary's train station. Fabulous fakes at the St. Mary's Station Gallery. John.
Okay. Gee, you could call the front porch show the graveyard of the fabulous fakes, I think. But here we go. Most of us know Carey as a former town councilor. And where's Jeff? There you are. Okay, thank you. And the owner of Pass It On. She's here to tell you about her amazing store. Carey Pope.
Carry me home to Birmingham.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Belle.
Where is Belle? Oh, there she is. Okay. So, Carey, tell us where the story starts for Pass It On.
Well, you're getting right down to it. I used to live outside Nashville. I thought I'd
Really?
hobnob
Whoa.
with him for a bit, John. I used to live in
Okay.
a little town called Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Shelbyville, you said it right, didn't you?
Shelbyville, I
Shelbyville,
did.
Tennessee.
I learned that.
The Tennessee walking horses are huge there. Been there a few times. If I threw a town at you near Shelbyville called Columbia, what would be the thing of Columbia they had once a year, the huge thing?
Moonshine drinking?
That's the first thing, in the moonshine.
do.
The second they have is called Mule Day.
Oh, yeah.
And Mule Day was, and I was lucky enough one year to be, what do you call the guy who leads a parade?
The mule host?
The mule rear end, maybe. Well, no, keep going. Shelbyville, nice to have you, by the way.
Thank you. Nice
American
to
or
meet you.
Canadian?
I'm Canadian, proud.
Well, how'd you
London,
get to
Ontario.
Shelbyville?
Oh, that's a long story.
I got time.
And a couple ex-husbands ago.
Okay. Well, you really wanted to you wanted to get right into it, right?
I know. Okay, sorry. Okay, John, now back to you.
Now back to the safe questions.
I have my notes.
So tell us where the story starts for Pass It On.
Where does it start? Well, I moved to St. Mary's. I started volunteering, and in 2004, I opened the doors of Pass It On. I was volunteering at the youth center, which used to be at the bottom of the post office. They had a console TV, if anyone knows what that is. You're like me, very old. But and a couch, and I said, we can do better. And so I got the inspiration from traveling all around the world and living in Toronto, and I thought, I can do something here to raise some money with community outreach. So that's why I started Pass It On. That's the story.
And so you created it for the youth center, basically.
I did, yeah. It was exclusively, that was a long time ago. So many things have come through the door. So I started because of the youth center. I wanted to give back to the youth. That was my sort of first goal, and it's grown from there.
So what were the early years like?
They were interesting. It's changed a lot because of social media and different things like that, word of mouth. It was great right from the get-go. I donated a big pool table. My mom's here in the audience, and she'll contest to that. It was an interesting pool table that we got donated to the youth center, and the early years were interesting. It was really great. This is an amazing community. It's a giving community, and they supported my vision and what I was trying to do right away. They got it. So St. Mary's is a fantastic community. I knew it would work here.
Yeah. So what are the projects? You've done more than the youth center now. What other things are you into?
Yeah, it's growing now. The skate park, we use funding there, scholarships, the reading program, the hospital. I still support the youth center, but now we've outreached globally to scholarships for girls. We do that with DCBI. Bikes, we ship bikes and baseball equipment and iPads, and we support all different kinds of groups in the Dominican. The community I am connected to is in Cabarete, and it's a really cool fusion of Haitian and Dominicans. And so I do a lot of scholarships there, and it's absolutely fantastic. I love it.
Now you're quite energy conscious, environmentally friendly. That's part of the appeal of the store. Tell us about that.
I think so. I try to be better every day and try to make people aware of plastics. Like, we've been over a year now plastic bag free. So thank you. I challenge everyone in town, all the stores, to maybe follow our lead. I was the first one to use green energy, bullfrog power, and just to try and reuse things. Like, all my tags are cereal boxes, so everyone kind of knows what my favorite cereal is. What's yours?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
I thought he would say sugar crisp.
Oh, I like.
Give me a break. Come on, give me a break on it, please.
Oh, I get that now. I get that, Chris. Yeah, okay, I get that.
This is as good as the humor gets on the front porch show. Sorry, doesn't get better.
I'm getting harassed by my fellow counselor, Don Van Gallender. He has to be nice to me now. So yeah, like we're doing cool things. And I have a cement bag to give away. I thought we'd have fun, so don't let me forget about that. But what was your question? Cereal? Oh yeah, so I just try and be innovative and see what people are doing and try and push the limits. And people really appreciate it. They get the store. It's really kooky.
So what do you sell in the store?
Everything from clothing to jewelry, retro stuff, furniture, doors, clothing, and I don't know, everything. Doors, salvage. Normally I don't take live animals or ex-husbands, so I suppose everything else I sell. And I get some. I know you're going to ask me a question later, but I get some.
Go ahead.
Donations come. So it's a social enterprise, and donations come in all the time. And I've had some pretty interesting donations over my many years.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm writing a book, so you have to buy my book.
Okay, but tell me about one of them. Come on.
Well, my most interesting donation was a camel saddle, and I did sell it. I can't remember. That was years ago. I did sell it. It was a long time ago. Some of the other ones I can't really say. There are some love letters and some Polaroids and some interesting little bits in boxes. Yeah, I won't. No, okay. So yeah, I'm collaborating.
Did you actually sell the camel saddle?
Yeah, I did. I sold it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It didn't stink. It was very elaborate, and that was forever ago. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, good. Now you're hosting a Dominican meal soon. Tell us more about that.
We are. My partner, Bert, and I, he had Damon's restaurant. He's in the audience
and
there.
And we miss Damon's very much.
Thank you, me too. I have to cook now, so I do too. But so we did 9 Hope for Haiti dinners, and we raised enough money to build a school and a dental clinic. And I was like, I wanted to do that 10th one, right? So when Jordy at Harris Electric, I was like watching them open, and they wanted to do some community events, and I'm like, maybe I'll pitch this idea to do a Haiti Dominican dinner. And I asked them, and they're like, oh, my God, yeah. Like, he totally stepped up. So Sunday, August 18th, we're holding our first Inspire DR. It's I'm on the International Board of Directors. We're doing a fundraiser, and it's going to be amazing Dominican-inspired food. And, yeah, I hope everyone can come. The tickets are $50, and there's a couple sittings, and I have them with me. But it's going to be really cool. It's going to be there's going to be a whole bunch of surprises. Some people may be calling in. Yeah, do you know Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
Should I know?
Who knows Kristen Bell? Yeah, Frozen, the blonde. Yeah, come on, John. You're going to have to Google that. Anyway, You didn't know I was going to be asking you questions, right?
No, it's not the way it usually works, but there we go.
Yeah.
By the way, for those out of town, Harris Electric is a restaurant, a fine restaurant in St. Mary's. It's not a place where you buy plugs and stuff like that.
It's amazing. Jordy's going to try his first kick at the can at Sancocho, and it's a Dominican soup. It's like my favorite thing, and we're going to have all kinds of lovely beans and rum, complimentary rum punch, and it's going to be cool. There's going to be some music, and it's going to be a really groovy time. You should come. Bring your family.
Bring my family.
Get a table. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Giving away trip and all kinds of trip vouchers and travel vouchers and all kinds of cool stuff.
Fantastic.
The community is amazing, so they're supporting me on this.
Now, if people want to become, join you in your vision, how can they help you out?
I have a website, and I have social media, Instagram and Facebook. I'm always doing crowdfunding and different things, so if you hear a shout out like I need baseball gloves or going down to the Dominican or school supplies, just keep donating to the store, spreading the word, spreading the love, shop, and bring family and people in there. It's a really cool experience. I always have fun music, and just support the store, and hopefully you'll really love what I do, because I love everything I do. It comes from the heart. I think you have to have that passion first. So yeah, that's how they can support the store, and in turn it supports St. Mary's, which is awesome.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming to the show today. We wish you all the best.
Do you want to give away the
bag? Don't forget the bag.
So these were donated, and over the years we've given out so much money from the hospital to everything with these St. Mary's cement bags. They're from the 1950s. It hasn't been used. So, thank you. He's great.
Never been used?
Never been. No, they're original and it's authentic, and I think everyone in town should have one. We've made aprons and pillows and bags. So I'm going to give it out to the first No, you can't have. You have to answer a question. What is my cat's name?
Oh,
He's
I know.
a lot
I
on my
know.
social enterprise. He's quite famous.
I know.
So, if anyone knows, raise your hand in the audience. What is my cat's name? Dawn, you can pick somebody. Oh.
Great T-shirt.
Yeah, she's my friend. That didn't count. Somebody else, Dawn.
Nobody put her hand up.
What is my famous cat's name?
Somebody put
Nobody?
a hand up.
Give them a hint.
I don't
No,
think your
you-
cat's that
You
famous.
either know it or you don't know it.
No.
Wow, what kind of a game's that?
Huh?
Oh, over here. Sunglasses and white.
Mr. Sexy Boots. That's right.
There we
Mr.
go.
Sexy Boots.
Thank you.
Mr. Sexy Boots. You've heard that name before, Terry?
I've been to London a few times.
That's Ms. Sexy Boots to you. Anyway, here it is for you. Come and get it.
Yep.
Thanks.
John,
Am
John.
I done?
You're done.
John, I was thinking, last week you were saying you were having a lot of difficulty finding the right shirt.
Yes.
Did you manage to get the right shirt this week?
Well, no, this is a used one from last year.
Okay, so maybe this is something else that our guest can help
Perhaps
us out
so.
with. There,
She could be my
we need
my
extra
fashion-
large shirts.
fashion
Terry.
consultant.
But I have another thing for you to do, John. Once again, because of our special guest host, I have a challenge for you, John.
Uh-oh.
We have a tabletop hockey game over there.
Yes.
And you and I, of course, are very competitive tennis players.
Yes.
We're always scorching each other.
Yes.
Tonight, you have your opportunity to scorch me at tabletop hockey with play-by-play by Mr. Terry Crisp himself.
Okay.
All right? Come on. Let's go. Our microphones move. Unless, of course, they're... There you go.
Thank you. Can you hear you back there now? You got us? A hockey game. Let me see the teams.
Okay, we gotta get it.
You have on there. Whoa, hang on. The Montreal. Oh, yeah. The Montreal Canadiens and the Calgary Flames are on this game.
Gotta do it right.
You know what? I just got to give you a quick resume. 1989. Right there, Montreal Canadiens against the Calgary Flames in the heralded Old Montreal Forum, the Mecca of hockey, playing the final game in the Stanley Cup. And they had never lost the cup on home ice, the Montreal Canadiens. So, which one is the Montreal Canadiens? Don or John?
I'm Montreal.
Sorry. John and Don. Okay.
So I know I'm going to
Scenario. Calgary Flames coming down. Clock
What game
ticking
is
down.
this? What game is this?
Sixth game. If Calgary
game.
wins it, they win the cup.
Win the cup. Here we
On
go.
the forum,
Ready?
and we got it go. All right, Don's got it. He gives up. Larry Robinson tries to clear it. Oh, Joey Mullen steps in to save it. A shot. Patrick Roy makes a huge save to keep Montreal in the game. Now it comes. Corson takes one. Mike Vernon down, an unbelievable save. The clock is ticking down, and the game is over, and you lost. Sorry, son. The Calgary Flames win the Stanley Cup on the Montreal Forbes. Only time it's ever been done. Congratulations, John. Well done.
Well, it was the good coach I had.
What? Losers don't get a chance to talk. Here, son, quit pouting, okay? I hate pouters.
Okay. From the St. Mary's Independent, let's work with
Welcome.
Let's welcome Lauren Eady.
Yes.
Hello, hello. I hope everyone had a wonderful Heritage Weekend. For this week, we have featured Melodies at the Museum is back for their 8th season. The St. Mary's Museum will host a weekly summer concert series on Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. each week, July 17th until the end of August, right here in Cadzow Park. This week features local favorites Corduroy Gordon, kicking off the festivities sponsored by Hodges Funeral Home. 20 on the Trestle celebrations continue this Thursday with a special edition of Tales for Tots, being held at the Trestle at 10 a.m. In the evening, as well on Thursday, Sunset Yoga continues at 7:15, sponsored by the St. Mary's Healthcare Foundation. Please bring your own mat and water. On Saturday, July 20th, there'll be a Tai Chi demonstration at 11 a.m. And all ages and abilities are welcome to participate in both of these events. The town-wide yard sale is happening this Saturday, the 20th, as well. The Independent is offering special garage sale pricing for ads for this occasion. It's just $10, and that's including HST. So you can stop by our office at 36 Water Street South and get your garage sale listed. And that's all for your community events this week. If you require further information, please feel free to stop in at the Independent, grab a paper, contact us on Facebook or Twitter at St. Mary's Indy, or you can check us online at stmarysindy.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Lauren E. from the St. Mary's Independent. Now, here's a guy who's been on our radar for a couple of years. We're glad to have him on our show. Chris Mabel. What's that? Plug in first. I'll do what you need to do. I don't play the guitar that well.
Country boy from Mitchell, Ontario.
But he's playing.
People here from Mitchell, Ontario.
Good evening, everybody. How you all doing? Doing all right? Nice evening here. Thanks for coming out, guys. Without the people to show up, there'd be no show. So give yourselves a round of applause right now. Thank you so much. All right, the first song we're going to do right now for you is a song that I call Rainstorm. And this is one of the songs I'm taking down to Tennessee with me in a few weeks. So try and record it. Well, I was born in the middle of the night, in the middle of a rainstorm. My daddy was the runaround kind and wasn't there. He could be found in any bar in Chicago. Mama raised us by herself in that rundown house. My brother, he left home when he was 16. Climbed aboard a shrimp boat and sailed away. He comes home, he gives our mama money, taking care of mama, and that's okay. Well, I was born in the middle of the night, in the middle of a rainstorm. My daddy was the runaround kind and wasn't there. He could be found in any bar in Chicago. Mama raised us by herself in that rundown house. All guitar. Jerry Beaver on the guitar. My sister married a lawyer from New York City. She's living the high life and wearing pearls, drinking champagne and hanging with the rich friends. Much too busy for us, and that's a shame. Well, I was born in the middle of the night, in the middle of a rainstorm. My daddy was the runaround kind and wasn't there. He could be found in any bar in Chicago. Mama raised us by herself in that rundown house. These days I'm living down in Austin, tending bar in a local dive. It ain't much, but man, it's a living, doing what I can to survive. Well, I was born on the wrong side of town in the middle of a rainstorm. My daddy was a rambling man and wasn't there. He could be found in any bar in Chicago. Mama raised us by herself in that rundown house. Mama raised us by herself in that rundown house. Woo! Thanks so much, everybody. Jared Bieber on the lead guitar. Thank you.
Chris is going to be coming back later on the show, play a couple more numbers, but right now we have our annual visitor to the Front Porch Show, the curator and archivist for the museum, Amy Cubberly. Oh, these chairs are difficult to get out of. Good to see you. Carey asked me a question that only you can answer. Terry, what question do you have?
Well, when you said you're going to introduce Amy, and I said okay, and I was looking it over, and he said, well, she is a pretty lady, which you weren't lying to me about, and you said she is also at the museum. She is a curator and an archivist, and I had to say to him, what's an archivist? Amy, could you tell me? Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? I only play hockey. You know what I mean? Outside of a hockey rink, I'm really not. What is an archivist?
So an archivist is essentially someone who preserves the paper record side of museum and archives. So.
Can I ask a question? You said paper records?
Yes.
Like not the tick-tick now, like computers and iPads and all that?
Are we into,
and so you put them onto...
So we digitize some, but we
That's the word I was looking for. Digitize. Thank you.
Another new word for your vocabulary.
I'm in. So. I'm back. I'm here. I'm with you.
Did you know that the Front Porch Show is so educational, Terry?
I did not. But you know what, though? I should have, because looking over your history, I knew it had nothing but get better. We're getting better, boy.
Okay. For the size of a town, having a museum is unique. Yeah, why?
So I think kind of what's unique about our museum is the fact that we have the newspaper records back to the 1850s. Not a lot of museums and archives have that newspaper history, and it was actually two newspapers, so the St. Mary's Journal and the St. Mary's Argus, and it included everything from people going to birthday parties to this person visited their neighbor yesterday, so it's an awesome record as to just daily life in St. Mary's and the surrounding communities.
Now, starting this week, again, you're doing Melodies at the Museum. How many years has it been going?
This is our 8th year. Thank you, Lauren. I kind of blanked on that. So.
Wow. So, and who's going to be on it?
So we're starting it with Corduroy Gordon this coming week, and then we're continuing on with... the following week, we have the Shenanigans, a Celtic rock band. And then we have Jennifer Thorpe and Chris Norley, a jazz duo. And the Gigi's, they're returning favorites. And then Delaney Brooklyn and Jaron Camp. Joseph Flynn and his grandmother.
Joseph, our Joseph.
Your Joseph.
Let's hear it for Joseph.
He's hit the big time. He's coming to
grandma.
And then we're finishing off with the Blurry Pickers.
Okay, fantastic. Now, you've been introduced to something extra special. What it is that tell us about for this Melodies at the Museum and how people can get involved with it.
So something we're trying this year, we recently received some funding through the Stratford Perth Community Foundation to try a Heritage on Wheels program. So we're going to be offering free mobility bus rides to 2 of our concerts to start. If uptake is good, it will continue. It is limited to those who qualify for mobility services, so you have to either be over the age of 50, sorry Terry, or
I don't qualify, sorry.
require accessible transportation.
Okay, so they just phone the mobility bus and then
Yep,
they
so you
arrange it?
just book as you would a regular ride with the mobility bus, so you just call Lauren at St. Mary's Mobility Services and just let her know that you're taking the bus to the concert and your ride will be free.
And what else do you have planned for the rest of the year? You do seminars and things like this?
Yep, so our seminar series will be launching again in September and continuing through until next March.
And what about some of the displays you're having too?
So currently we have a display on called Heroes, and it looks at the history of the St. Mary's Fire Department, again starting back in the 1850s. I'm reluctant to say too much, but
Okay.
we do have a display tentatively scheduled for January 2020. I will share that I've secured some funding through the Canadian Space Agency for this grant, or for this exhibit, so that's all I'll say for now.
Okay, good. Bill Lee's going to come, I guess, right?
Is he still around, Bill Lee?
He actually comes to the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony sometimes. Yeah, he was here last year, I believe. Anyways, our museum is, while preserving the past, is also about creating memories of the present that we will treasure from years ago. And with that in mind, we at the Front Porch Show would like to present you with our, courtesy of Rich Miller in the United States, our commemorative book for season 2 of the Front Porch Show.
That's fantastic. Thanks so
So-
much.
So
We'll
who
add
knows?
it to the archives.
Yes, to the
I knew it. I knew it was going to come out.
the real one.
That's why you want to know what it meant.
And who knows, 50 years from now, somebody will look at the book and say, "Holy smoke, that's Don Van Galen." He looked so young and handsome back in those days. Okay, so that's it for that. For now, thank you for coming on the show,
All right,
Amy.
thanks so much
Beautiful.
for having me.
And Don has an extra special announcement for us now.
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be interested to note that on our table we have these lovely Front Porch Show mugs, original and unique to the Front Porch Show, and they are made available courtesy of all of our wonderful sponsors, like tonight's St. Mary's Pontiac GMC. All of our guests received the beautiful Front Porch mug, and you yourself can have one if you would like to come and see us and talk to John. They are available to you as well. So please enjoy a coffee on us. John.
Okay. As you know, one of the things we're doing this year is to focus on the service clubs. They are part of the heartbeat of this community. And tonight we're going to talk about the Legion. They've done so much for our community. And here to talk about it is Bim Graham, the first Vice President and Membership Chairman of the Perth Regiment Veterans Branch 236 Royal Canadian Legion. Now, this is a true story. The first time I met Bim, he didn't exactly look like he looks now. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Neither did you. Was one of our last fundraisers was called the Ladyless Ladies Lip Sync and Beauty Contest. I was dressed as a pregnant Loretta Lynn in pajamas and house coat, and John was dressed as one of the Spice Girls. He was Old Spice. And we had a riot.
We actually did. It was an interesting way to get to know you. I didn't recognize him at the first tonight because I'd never seen him in a costume. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? No? You never dressed up?
Sober.
That's exactly right. Not that I can remember, or I'm going to recall either.
Okay. First, Bim. Okay. Why Bim?
I gave that name to myself when I was about 3 or 4 years old. There was a Jim Reeves song on radio called Bimbo,
And I walked into the house one day when my mother had some friends over having coffee, and I had a little dog following me, and she said, take the dog out. So I turned around and walked out with the dog, and the one said, he looks just like Bimbo from the song. And I remember
Bimbo,
that.
Bimbo, where you gonna go, yo? Bimbo, Bimbo, what you gonna do, yo? Bimbo, Bimbo, does your mama know? You're going down the road to see a little girlie, yo. Yeah, baby, that's what we're talking about, bring it home.
So anyway, about 2 days later, I'd get into some trouble, and I don't know what I did, probably nothing, but my mother was upset anyway, and she called me into the house. She said, David Graham, get in here. And I said, my not David, my Bimbo. And when she told the neighbors that, they all saw her calling me Bimbo, and my brothers called me Bimbo, and it got shortened to Bim, and it's been that way for a long time.
Okay, let's get on to the Legion. When did it start in St. Mary's?
The Legion, St. Mary's got their charter in 1932.
That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago.
Why is it important to preserve the memories of those who have fought for our country?
It's important because, for a number of reasons, you haven't got the freedom you have today without those people. I was at the cenotaph. It was our Remembrance Day parade, and it was raining and it was sleet, and I just had my uniform on, no overcoat, nothing else, and I was bitching like inside. And then I looked up at the cenotaph, and the two names at the top on the south side were my dad's cousins, and they both died at Passchendaele. Mm-hmm. And when I thought of what they went through, I thought, I'm going through nothing. Mm-hmm. And people have to realize what they did go through.
What kind of things can we do to help preserve those memories?
Education. We got to start when the kids are in school. We got to educate them. We got to tell them more. We got to keep them in touch with what went on. We have to get the schools to teach them more about what war was really like, not just the dates and the places.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Legion is a bit different than other service clubs. How?
We're a service club, but we're also a business, a not-for-profit business, but we are a business. So we have to follow the rules of the province. Pay HST, we have to follow the rules. We serve food, we have to follow health unit, we get inspected by them. We have paid employees, we have to take all their deductions off and get them sent in. And we've got a whole bunch of different accounts we have to work off of.
Mm-hmm. So the St. Mary's Legion has had a bit of a name change. Tell us about it. Why did it happen?
2017, our president, Tom Jenkins, wanted to do something different for Canada's 150th birthday. And I had thought about it previously, but I brought it up at the meeting that maybe we could change the name of the Legion to the Perth Regiment Veterans, since the ones from World War I and World War II were mainly in the Perth Regiment. There is no Perth Regiment anymore. It was something to keep the regiment's name alive, to help them out. We went through the motions, had to get the permission. I got a hold of a guy who was with Perth Regiment Reenacted. He put me through to the Department of National Defense. A month later, I got a copy of an email that had been passed on to about 50 people, and ended up the person I had to get permission from was the guy I talked to first. So he gave us permission, and then we went through, we had a meeting, had to let everybody know what the meeting, what it was about. We had a vote, it passed, and since July 1st, we've been known as Perth Regiment Veterans, Branch 236, Royal Canadian Legion.
Fantastic, fantastic. What are some of the activities you have during the year?
Well, we mentioned one.
Yes. We want to forget that one. Some of us do.
We had a Johnny Cash show up in March. May, there was a bake sale. Every April, the end of April, we have a steak barbecue. Then comes June, which was the Ladyless Ladies. Right now, our next one is the elimination draw. We sell 600 tickets at $20 each, and there's elimination. Last ticket wins $2,000. We have karaoke about once a month, and every Saturday we have a meat draw.
Now, I have no idea. Maybe I need to come to a meat draw, because I have no idea what a meat draw is. How many people know what a meat draw is? Put up your... Holy smokes, where have I been? You know what a meat draw is?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I've been to a lot of them here.
Every Legion that I have been to in Ontario has meat draws. They're all done differently.
What do you do?
Ours, we sell tickets, a strip of 5 tickets for $5.
Yeah.
And then as the numbers are drawn out, you get up and you claim a prize. And it's meat. The first prize in each draw is breakfast in a bag, dozen eggs, pound of bacon, and a loaf of bread.
Okay.
And then there's different meats for the rest of the prizes. There's 20 prizes, so you can win with all 5 of your tickets. You can win more than once.
Okay.
So you can go grocery shopping there for $5 and come out with quite a bit of stuff.
Bim, I got to ask this one too.
Yeah.
Back when I first joined it and used to go there, every Friday night you have to be present to win. When you're there with the things drawn, you have to be present when we first started them.
That was the 50-50
you had to be
draw.
in the hall and to win. And
Yep.
yeah.
We're not allowed to do that draw anymore.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to bring it up. Yeah.
No,
Good.
it's that's another thing that we give a lot of money to minor sports,
Right.
minor hockey, minor ball, but it's governed by the town who we can give to. We used to give money to the Lincolns, but we can't because they're not less than 18 years of age.
Oh, wow.
The majority of them are over 18, so we can't give them money. We can only give to minor sports.
Ah, interesting. So is membership of the Legion just for those who served in the military?
Membership used to be like that. It's wide open now. Anybody who is, let me read this so I don't get it wrong. Anybody who is a Canadian citizen or Commonwealth subject from an allied nation and supports the aims and objects of the Legion are eligible for membership.
Wonderful. So it's open to basically almost anybody.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you do? How do you become a member?
You fill out one of these applications.
Yeah.
I have a few here if anybody wants one, but at the end of the show, you go down to the club. We're open at 3 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and noon Friday and Saturday, and there are applications there that can be filled out.
Okay, wonderful. So that's great. So Bim, thanks for dropping in. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's about it. And
Okay.
thank you for having me and letting
Thanks
me
for
share
dropping
our
in.
experiences.
Wonderful. We appreciate it very much.
We'll meet again. Don't know where.
Don't know when,
But
I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Thanks, Bim.
Okay, here he is again, Mr. Chris Mabel.
Thanks again, John. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks, Jeff. Almost forgot to plug myself in there. It's kind of like leaving the house with their pants on, isn't it? All right, everybody. This next song that I'm going to perform for you is another song that I wrote a little while ago. For a while there, I wasn't doing much playing, singing, or writing or anything like that. And there was my wife and kids and several others that got me back involved with it and playing all the time at every show that I can. And people don't realize that the amount of work that goes into putting on just a simple show, even such as the Front Porch show here in St. Mary's, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the background that people don't realize. There's a lot of people involved. Everybody plays a part. We're just the ones getting up and singing and having a good time for a few minutes here and there. There's a lot of stuff in the background. And I wrote this song about it to say thank you to everybody who helps us do this kind of stuff with their lives, whether you're a truck driver or a professional baseball player or something like that, or a musician. There's a lot of moving parts that makes it work, and somebody at home keeping the home fires burning and loving us no matter what. And this is just a big thank you to all my family and friends out there for allowing me to do what I love. So this one's called I'm Thanking You.
We got ourselves some whiskey and cigarettes and we're headed for the show. This being on the road is hard, but we reap what we sow. If I were asked what else I'd do, man, I really wouldn't know. There's something about the glow of neon lights down at Music Row. Living on a Silver Eagle with the band of Rim, the Nomads has its days. When I think of all the fun we have, I know I wouldn't want it any other way. Making music and sharing it with others is what I was born to do. But I know I can't do it alone, so I'm thanking you. At the end of the night, we settle down and load up again. Another city, another town, another hotel we've already been. Hank Williams used to sing a song about a lonesome whippoorwill. It's too bad old Hank is gone, I wish he were here. Living on a Silver Eagle with a band of rambling nomads has its days. When I think of all the fun we have, I know I wouldn't want it any other way. Making music and sharing it with others is what I was born to do. But I know I can't do it alone, so I'm thanking you. I know I can't do it alone, so I'm thanking you. Thank you. Thanks very much. Jared Bieber again on the lead guitar. Thanks so much, folks.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on our show. Boy, you're taller than I am, I think. Hi there. Now, how long have you been playing, Chris? No, get in there. Don't forget, we're on television.
I've been singing and playing since I was about 10 years old. I'm 38 now, so I'm not really good with math, folks. You'll have to fill in the blank there for me.
Okay, you write a lot of your own songs. Where does the inspiration come from?
I think a lot of the inspiration over recent years, I listened to a lot of Alan Jackson and George Strait and Hank Williams and Merle Haggard and stuff like that. So I get a lot of inspiration from them and what they do and what's made them successful, and just whatever's going on in your own personal life and what you see happening in the world around you, political or otherwise. You just you get a few thoughts in your heads and you write them down and you go with it.
You've recently won an award. Tell me about it. I gotta dodge this thing. It's like a sword coming at me. You recently won an award. Tell us about that award.
Back in March, my wife and I and a group of others, we went down to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is just it's about 2 hours east of Nashville, Tennessee. We were part of a competition called the North American Country Music Association International, and it's groups from all over Canada and all over the U.S. Get together, and the two awards actually that I won, I feel really humbled about and thankful. Yeah, I won them for the two songs that I wrote myself, actually, which is pretty exciting. One was Most Promising Male Vocalist of the Year for Adult, and another one was, what was it here? I'm a Male Entertainer. Thank you, my dear, my wife. Entertainer of the Year for the 2019 for adults. So, and like I said, I won them for songs I wrote myself. So, thanks very much. That's pretty cool.
You produced a CD or two. How do people get a hold of them?
I got CDs available. You can purchase them directly from me if you like. Just look me up on Facebook, Chris Mabel. I've got business cards somewhere, probably back in the car. But you can. We're working on a website. I'm not real good at that stuff, so I'm trying a little bit as I go here. But I've also got a YouTube channel people can check out, Chris Mab Music. Just type in Chris Mab on your Google search bar at home on your computers, and it's probably going to be 2 or 3 videos come up. I hope you like what you hear, and I hope you continue to support me and my music and all of my musical friends in this area.
And if people want to book you, I assume they can just go to your website or your Facebook group and contact you and book you. Everything's there. So got a new CD coming up now. Tell us about that.
Well, heading down to Tennessee, like I said, in August to record the first song that I did there, Rainstorm. And a good friend that not only does he run Ontario Country Music International, but he's also the president of his own record company. And he very strongly advised me against recording an entire album because nobody buys albums anymore. It's all digital. They just you record a song and you release it out onto the airwaves, and if people like it, they'll just download it, right? So you just keep going like that, and you just keep going back, and until you get about say 5 or 6 songs, and that makes your CD for you, and you just keep going from there.
We want to hear you play right now, so let's cut the interview right now. Let's hear you play your last song. Let's go, Chris Mabel.
All right, everybody, this last song I'm going to do is a song that's on my CD called Voodoo Dawn, and like I said, that's available through purchase. That's Linda's favorite song. Thank you, Linda. But that's available through purchase from me, so just message me on Facebook and let me know that you'd like one, and we'll see if we can't get that to you. This one is, as I said, Heaven is a Honky Tonk. It's on the CD, and it's one I wrote paying tribute to all my favorite country music singers that I grew up listening to through the 80s and the 90s, Alan Jackson and Hank Williams and Merle Haggard, Keith Whitley. I assume most people here know who I'm talking about when I mention those names. Yeah? Okay. Just checking. You ready, Jared? All right. Heaven is a honky tonk. Your idea of heaven may differ somewhat from mine. Clouds and wings and halos, all that sure sounds fine. My idea of heaven ain't got no streets of gold, just angels that sing country music on the Grand Ole Opry show. I hope heaven's a honky-tonk so I can meet old Hank. Maybe he'll sing Mind Your Business and we'll have a drink. I want to meet Keith Whitley and Waylon Jennings too. Johnny Cash will sing Folsom Prison and a boy named Sue. Take it, Jared.
if you're trying to think of how to send me out in style, anything by Alan Jackson's bound to make me smile. When I get to heaven, I hope to see Merle, and maybe with a little luck, I'll meet Mandy Pearl. I hope heaven's a honky-tonk so I can meet old Hank. Maybe he'll sing Mind Your Business and we'll have a drink. I wanna meet Keith Whitley and Waylon Jennings too. Johnny Cash will sing Folsom Prison and a boy named Sue. I hope heaven's a honky-tonk so I can meet old Hank. Maybe he'll sing Mind Your Business and we'll have a drink. I wanna meet Keith Whitley and Waylon Jennings too. Johnny Cash will sing Folsom Prison and a boy named Sue. Take it, Jerry. Again, everybody, Jared Beaver from here this evening.
Thanks so much, everybody. John Stevens, thank you very much for having us. Thanks for coming out, guys. Appreciate it.
Come on up here, Terry. Come on, you're my co-host. Yeah. I've really had, you're welcome to drop in anytime.
Well, thank you, John. It's just great to come back home every summer. We have this to look forward to. And by the way, for Chris, I was talking one thing about Tennessee and Pigeon Forge and that. You're not very far from where we live, Sheila and I, in Nashville, so we know what he's talking about and the fun they have. So, and by the way, this was very, very good. And I wish just before I leave to give Chris one more good hand from all of you, please, because this is a pretty good one tonight. Please.
Okay. Well, that's the show for this week. We'd like to thank Al Strathdee, Carey Pope, Amy Cubberly, and Bim Graham for stopping by to see us. A special thanks goes to you, Carrie Crisp, for being the co-host this week.
Did you say Carrie or Terry?
Terry. I have a speech impediment. And of course, we'd like to thank our musical guest, Chris Mabel, along with Jared Bieber. And huge thanks goes to our show sponsor, St. Mary's Buick GMC. Drop in and say hello to them next week. Tell them how much you enjoyed the show. And we'd like to save the biggest thank you for you. For you're the ones who give us a reason to show up every week. We really, really do appreciate it. You are so special to us. We looking forward to seeing you again next week.
Next week on
The Front Porch Show. Hello, hello. On next week's show, we have two Andreas, Slade and Mako. One to talk about the aquatic program in town and how I may learn to swim. And the other is an event planner. We're also going to learn more about our wonderful farmers market. And Andrew Hodges and Swarty are going, are going to tell us about the Kinsmen. The special musical guest is none other than Stephanie Martin. And our co-host next week is Missy Little. It's going to be a great show, so don't miss it. Frank, take us home.
Yeah! Clap along there, John.
I was born in Ontario, a place to stand, a place to grow. From Pickle Lake to Point Pelee, there's no place I'd rather be than my hometown they call Stone Town. Prettiest town for miles around. Little falls laugh, people share smiles, living in harmony. All right, home St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. Home St. Mary's, St. Mary's home to me. I can't count the times I've been amazed, how I've been blessed, how God is great, how I was led to this special place. It's quite a mystery. where anyone can be your friend. And farmers' fields, they never end, and through it all flows the mighty Thames. What a sight to see. All right, children. Home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. Oh, St. Mary's home to me. You can do better. Home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. Oh, St. Mary's home to me. Nice job there, Mary. Hey, can you dance this? All right. I've left behind me many miles, good, on old highways, on dusted trails. When times got rough, when all else failed, I knew where I should be. Back in my hometown they call Stone Town, the prettiest town for miles around. Little falls like people share smiles, singing in harmony. You ready? Come on, St. Mary's, go! Home, St. Mary, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Go ahead. Home, St. Mary's home to me. It's my home, St. Mary's home to me. Clap along. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Good. Home, St. Mary's. Right here. St. Mary's home to me. It's my home, St. Mary's home to me. Here we go. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Yeah, Terry. Home, St. Mary's home to me. Oh, St. Mary's home to me. It's my home, St. Mary's home to me. It's my home, St. Mary's home to me. It's my home, St. Mary's home to me. God bless you. Thank you for coming to the Front Porch Show. Terry, Chris, and all our guests. God bless you all.